Hello everyone, welcome back to another class in my cozy space. So if you're new here, my name is Akila, and all my classes that I do in this space are going to be more gentle and restorative classes, especially today's class. So if you've clicked on this video today, for whatever reason that you've clicked on it, I just want to extend my deepest condolences to you for whatever loss it is that you're dealing with at the moment. I decided to create this mini series of classes because I actually had two quite profound losses in my family this year, and I found it to be really exhausting just to do the simplest things. So I wanted to make classes that were extremely gentle in hopes that I could make something that's very manageable, to carve out just that little bit of time to take care of yourself if you're finding it difficult to do anything. So as I take us through practice today, just know that I will be guiding us through trying to regulate some breathing. If you find yourself sobbing and you're finding it hard to keep control of your breath, that is totally okay. Yoga can often unlock emotions in us. So whatever comes during this class, just let it come and just be with it, however you need to be with it. And my hope is that maybe this practice might just help you take care of yourself just that little bit and maybe feel the tiniest bit better. So we're gonna come to start in a child's pose. Knees can come wide, so the hips back, extending the arms out forward. And the forehead comes to the mat. And trying our very best here to lengthen the breath. And if even raising your arms above your head feels like it's a little bit much, you can take the knees a little bit narrower. You can take the arms by the sides, coming into this embryo pose. Maybe you start to count the breath here. So you can inhale through the nose for a count of 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the mouth, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. You can continue this breath, just keeping the count for yourself. If you need to wiggle the hips a little bit side to side, bring some gentle movement in here. Oftentimes, We can hold a lot in our hips and in our jaw. And there's actually a really intense connection between the jaw and the hips. So sometimes if you massage into your jaw, or maybe hinge the jaw open and closed gently a few times, you may notice an unlocking in the hips. And before we move on to the rest of the poses, I'll just let you know right now that if you just want to stay in this embryo pose or in this child's pose for the entirety of the class, that is okay as well. Maybe this is what you have the energy for today. And that's okay. Because just the intention of rolling out your mat and seeking out this practice, that is effort enough today. And that is your attempt to take care of yourself in a difficult time. But if you'd like to take a little bit more movement with me, you can take the hands forward if they're not already there. And your inhales will take you up through a tabletop, lowering gently down to the belly. Take an inhale, pull the chest forward slightly, shoulders roll back, gaze comes a little bit forward. And exhale, returning the chest to the floor. Pressing into the hands, coming through a tabletop. And we'll rock the hips back again, child's pose. And we're just going to flow through this a few times on your inhales, coming forward through your tabletop. Exhales, just keep the knees dropped as you lower down to the belly. Inhales, pull the chest through. Just a very gentle little back bend. Opening up the upper back. And your exhales, take your chest to return to the floor. Inhales, press you back through your tabletop. And exhales, take you back to your child's pose. Inhaling, come forward through the tabletop, just repeating through this sequence. Nice and gentle, nice and slow. Familiar. Lower down to the belly on the exhale. Inhale, pull the chest forward for a little baby back bend. And exhale, let the chest fall to the floor. Inhale, coming through your tabletop. Exhale, let the hips fall back into your child's pose. Inhale brings you forward to your tabletop. Exhale delivers the chest to the floor. Inhale peels the chest away from the floor. And exhale lowers the chest. Your inhale takes you back through your tabletop. Exhale falls out the mouth, maybe coming to child's pose. Take this one more time. Inhale brings you forward through your tabletop. Exhale, lower the belly all the way to the floor. Inhale, pull the chest gently forward and up. Exhale, chest to the mat. Inhale through your tabletop. And exhale, hips fall back. Finding a child's pose. Inhale, just walk the hands up to the shins. Coming upright. And we'll cross over the ankles. And we'll bring the feet, just bending at the knees, planting the feet to the floor. And using the fingertips to open up the chest, you can lean back a little bit. We're just going to take a gentle windshield wiper of the knees side to side. Just letting the knees fall to one side and then recover through the center. And then knees fall to the other side. Again, nice and slow here. Just a little gentle movement into the hips. And maybe you haven't had a lot of opportunities to move today, this week, this month. So this is really just to gently start to reintroduce the body to some movement. And the next time you let the knees fall over to the left, we're going to come into a double stag position. So as best we can, we want to try and line up with right angles of the legs. So ideally your back leg is coming straight out to the side with a right angle of your shin. Right foot points backwards. And then you're going to have a right angle with your front leg as well. It's okay if it's not completely a right angle. That's just the aim. And once you've found this shape, walk the fingertips a little bit forward, any amount. Maybe the forearms can come to the floor. We're just looking to get a little bit of a stretch into the outer left hip. You also may feel a stretch in the inner right groin here. Maybe the fingertips even walk a little bit more over to the left, so you come into a little bit of a twist. You can explore the depth here. You can also grab yourself a pillow or a blanket to lay your torso onto. That can be really comforting. I find a lot of these poses where you're both close to the floor but also facing the floor. These poses I find really comforting because you feel like you're enclosed and supported by the floor. These poses aren't as vulnerable. So they can be really good options of poses to do if you're feeling overwhelmed. On your next breath in, you can just gently take yourself out of this pose, coming back through the center. And we can take those windshield wipers again. You can stay as you are. I'm just gonna turn to face the other side so you stay facing you. So again, just taking these gentle windshield wipers of the hips to either side. And then the next time that the knees fall over to the right side, we're just going to come in to find that same shape again. That double stag. You can take the fingertips to walk forward any amount, or you can twist and take them off to the right. Just experimenting with what feels good here. I'll encourage in most of my practices that you take the option that feels best for you, but especially today, the purpose of this practice is to nourish and comfort yourself. So if you're in a variation of this pose that is inducing any anxiety, just experiment with another way to do it. Your next inhale, you'll gently bring yourself back through the center. Unwinding the legs. Coming to neutral, and we're just going to roll gently down all the way to the back. And when you arrive on your back, take the left leg to hug into the chest, right leg extends. Just interlace the fingers around the left shin. You have the option to stay here, or if you'd like a little bit of additional intensity in the stretch in that left hip, you can start to take the leg up and grab towards the outer edge of the left foot for a half happy baby pose. So either pose, we're just finding that compression in the front of the left hip. Trying to find a steadiness in the breath here. Really trying to calm the nervous system down if you can. And again, if you're in this half happy baby, or even just the knee hugged in, the intensity of the stretch in the hip might be unlocking some really emotional responses. And that is extremely normal. Our body has this way of storing emotions. And that's why movement can be such medicine, is if we're holding on to some of these emotions, maybe we're not even trying to, but we are suppressing these things. Sometimes a gentle movement just coaxes these emotions out. And when we can process those emotions, we can start to move on a little bit from them rather than clinging on. And your next breath is just going to release the left leg, and we'll take it over into a twist. So taking the left knee across the body, letting it fall to the floor, or if you have a pillow, you can let it fall onto the pillow. Inhaling deeply here. And you may find that on your exhales, you have access to a little bit more twist. We'll take the next inhale to bring the left knee back through the center. And then we're just going to swap it out to the other side. So the right knee hugs into the body, wrapping the fingers around the shin. And maybe you just take some gentle circles. An option to stay here, or if you'd like to, you can extend the shin upwards to find the right hand to the outer right edge of the foot. Coming into that happy baby pose. Deep compression in the front of the right hip. Extension in front of the left hip as you extend that left leg long down towards the front of your mat. And just really taking some grace with any emotional response that may come up when we explore this intensity in the hips. And we'll take one more inhalation here. On your exhale, releasing the foot if you have it, and taking the right knee across the body, letting it fall towards the floor. Right arm peels open, gaze comes over to the right. Letting the front of that right shoulder peel open and fall towards the floor. just gonna take the knee through the center and hug both knees in towards the chest. And if you'd like to here, you can take a traditional Shavasana, but I'm going to encourage you to find a wall and just take your legs up the wall. So you'd have your sit bones pushed up against the wall and the heels will be pressing into the wall so that you can just let the legs be heavy and the wall will be doing all of the work for you. You can additionally come back into your child's pose, or you can come up into any comfortable seat that you'd like. Just taking a restful final pose. And as we rest here, maybe just bringing to mind one small thing that you're grateful for amongst any chaotic feelings that you are experiencing. Any feelings of anger and sadness that may be more immediate to you right now. They may be taking away from the little moments of joy that you still have. So maybe something little like when you got to the train today, you didn't have to wait. Or maybe your coffee turned out really good when you made it this morning. Maybe you got a phone call from a person who you care about, or a text message. Maybe you did your laundry and remembered to put a dryer sheet in the dryer so your clothes smell really good. And if you can't think of a moment or a little piece of joy, maybe make an effort tomorrow to try and find one. Maybe make an effort tomorrow to look a little harder for those tiny happy moments. And if you are feeling sad right now, you are not alone. And if you made it this far into the practice, I'm really proud of you for taking a little bit of time for yourself. I'm just going to end the video here. You can stay in this final rest as long as you'd like to. I will be offering a few more classes like this, part of this mini series. So if you found peace in this class, if it helped you in any way, just know that I will be here for you again. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I'll see you next time.